Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with eggplant parmesan, or at least my version of an eggplant parmesan, kind of in a casserole form. I really like this recipe, really easy, and it's a lot less calories than the traditional fried eggplant parmesan. So I got 2 eggplants. I'm going to cut off the bottom because what I want is about 5 slices from each. I want 10 slices total, but I want them as wide as possible. So 1/2 inch slices from the thickest part of the eggplant. And there you go. Now, with the skinny ends, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to trim the skin off, and then I'm going to dice that, and I'm going to use that in our sauce, which is going to make it extra tasty. So it's kind of eggplant parmesan with eggplant sauce. It doesn't get any more eggplanty than that. All right, so I got that diced in a hot saute pan with just a little bit of oil. I'm going to soften these slices of eggplant with a little bit of salt, about 3 or 4 minutes per side. I'm not really trying to cook them all the way. I just want to kind of soften them a little bit because you'll see what's going to happen here. And I'm only going to use a tiny bit of oil. Eggplant will soak up 17.4 times its own weight in oil. That's why the deep fried eggplant parmesan has like 40,000 calories per serving, because eggplant is just like a sponge when it comes to oil. So once those are cooked on both sides, lightly browned and softened a little bit, I'm going to take those off and put them on a paper towel. All right, so all the eggplant got done. I'm going to take my saute pan, I'm going to add some olive oil, and I'm going to throw in a couple cloves of sliced garlic, not chopped, not minced, sliced. And because that oil is nice and hot, it's only going to take about 10 seconds here. And I'm going to dump in my diced eggplant. I don't want the garlic to burn. I'm going to throw in a big pinch of salt, a little red pepper flake, and I'm going to saute that for about 5 minutes. All right, after about 5 minutes, I'm going to dump in my tomato sauce, a little bit of water, give that a stir. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium-low, and I'm just going to cook that for about 15-20 minutes until that eggplant's nice and tender and everything is delicious. Now, if you need to, while it's cooking, see if it starts getting thick like that, you're going to add a little water to keep it a nice saucy consistency. See, that won't happen if you do it in a saucepan, but why dirty 2 pans? So things evaporate a little quicker in the big saute pan, so just adjust with water. Now for my stuffing, yes, my eggplant parmesan has stuffing. I'm going to take some ricotta cheese, some grated parmesan, and some grated pepper jack cheese. I'm not a big mozzarella guy with this recipe. I like the pepper jack, a little more flavor, some black pepper, some salt, and I'm going to mix that up. So really basic, simple, delicious cheese filling, and that's it. All right, now, the eggplant has cooled. All right, I had it sitting on paper towel, so a lot of that moisture has soaked into the towel. I'm going to divide my cheese mixture between the 10 slices. It's going to be a couple tablespoons each, and then I'm simply going to fold them like a taco. See that? Don't worry how it looks. It's going to look great when it's cooked. So we're going to fold those over. Again, I have 10 pieces. In my small casserole dish, I'm going to put half that eggplant tomato sauce down on the bottom. I'm going to lay in my folded over stuffed eggplant slices. Look at that. That looks so good already. All right, I'm going to pour over the rest of my tomato mixture. Tap it down in all the cracks and crevices. All right, and then we need a crispy topping. So I'm going to take some breadcrumbs, lots of Parmesan cheese, which is going to help it get nice and crunchy, and olive oil, of course. All right, we're going to mix that up. I'm going to pour that over the top of the casserole, and I'm not going to pack it. All right, I'm just going to spread it around with the tip of my fork so it's kind of irregular. That's going to go in a 375-degree oven for about 35-40 minutes. You can put a piece of foil on top if it's getting too dark, but you want to make sure it's bubbling, which means it's going to be cooked inside and underneath. You want the eggplant to cook. There's nothing worse than raw eggplant. That cheese is going to bake. That delicious eggplant sauce is going to permeate everything. The crispy breadcrumb Parmesan topping is going to give it a nice crunchy texture. So you're basically going to get the same texture and flavor as a traditional eggplant Parmesan, but like way less oil. Because like I said earlier, when you fry breaded slices of eggplant, they soak up an unbelievable amount of oil. So here the crispiness is just on top, and it's really a nice version, I think. Give it a try, you tell me. All the ingredients are on the site, and as always, enjoy.